Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the biggest misconception or misconceptions in investing in stocks. I've got a lot to say on this, but I will pass it off to you, Kirby, to start this off.
I think I think the misconception about the stock market is people think it's like the lottery. And that's to me, that is the biggest misconception. They think it's like the lottery. They think that, they can put in, $50 and the $50 is gonna turn into a million, which is not the case. I mean, maybe you that 0.0001% of people that put their money in GameStop and then it shot up by mistake because you ain't know what the hell you was doing. You was already in a company that actually doesn't produce any profits or anything like that, and it's losing money left and right. And then you just happen to be in there doing the GameStop mania, and then you woke up one day and then it just took off, in a short amount of time. But that's not the stock market. The stock market is about finding value, attracting dollars to companies that are performing well. Um, Everybody look at a stock price as how the company is performing. No, the stock market is just price discovery. Warren Buffett said it best: the market could be irrational longer than you could be solvent, or the longer than you can have patience. It's been many a times I've been in positions that has stunk for the stock price have stunk for a long time, and I'm talking about years, the stock price. But as I, listen to the conference calls, look at the financials, the company is improving. And I'll use another quote from Warren Buffett that the market, the market eventually will find the companies that is producing. It just may take time for it to happen. So while you're, looking at a company, you're looking at the financials, you're seeing that they're performing, you're doing, you know, the dollar cost averaging, you using different models to value the company while the company is undervalued. This is what Warren Buffett do. He start building a big position. When the market figure out that the company is performing and stuff you already know because you've been doing the research, then they lift the stock up. They lift the stock price up with their own dollars. But the money was made by doing the research and the homework then. It's not just, oh, blindly putting, $10 everywhere and then hoping one of them take off. That's not the stock market. It's not a lottery. But Alex, what you got?
Yeah, that is my what I think is the biggest misconception as well. And I mean, I know you get it, and I've gotten it. People asking which stocks can I put money into that'll, double in a week. It's like even if I knew, why would I be talking to you about this? Like, I mean, it's just not how it works, and it's not rational, and it just shows like if you're trying to look for a quick flip, then don't invest in stocks. You should be looking to do arbitrage or sell drugs. I mean, don't sell drugs, but I mean, literally, I mean, those are quick flips. It's not the stock market because you're going to be gambling in the stock market if you're trying to find a quick flip. And investing, you can see large growth numbers in the long term, but in the short term, it's extremely difficult to just like pick that one stock or that one company that's just going to explode. And I think, people just have this misconception that like they can be day traders, when they fail to realize like only 5% of day traders are successful and they have strict rules on themselves. And, it's like becoming a stock trader or whatever is not, and it's not a easy route. Just because you see it on social media doesn't mean that you can quit your day job and just start trading stocks all day. And I know people that have tried to just start trading stocks so they can, get an extra income other than their job, and then they just lose their money. And so they fail to realize the small gains that they're making are outweighed by the losses that they're taking. So, they're not making any money. So you really gotta be in control of your emotions when involved in the stock market and anything and investing and trading. And you have to treat it like an actual investment, not the lottery.
Like you said, with the day traders, like you said, 95% of day traders, only 5% of day traders, excuse me, are successful. That means 95% of them blow up their account. I'm not going to sit here and lie. When I thought I could day trade, I blew my account multiple times. And then that's when I realized, hey, singles, singles and doubles win the race, just like trying to hit home runs every day. But the misconception I think people have is the time it takes to even get to that level. I know on social media you see, some people that's actually successful at day trading. They say, oh, they spend about 15 minutes per day trading. Yes, that's true. They only trade for 15 minutes, but they spend 8 to 10 hours studying the market and studying what's going on in the market and overseas markets, especially if they trade in FX and stuff like that. It took them years and years and years of knowledge. They have a college degree plus some time on task to learn how to do that. It's not just wake up, open up an account one day and say, hey, I'm gonna buy here, sell here, and that's it. The people that is successful at anything, they have time on task. They study it. When it comes to real estate, I was talking to a couple yesterday on real estate, and I'm talking about the different nuances there is to buying and selling real estate. It's not just simply going to a bank, hey, can I get a pre-approval? That's it. Or when you buy real estate, oh, you're supposed to pay the list price that's on there because that's the value of the property. And they sitting there looking, how do you know this? Because even when you don't see me on social media, if you don't see me in the Discord, I'm studying it. I've had years and hours and hours and hours of time on task of doing this. If you added up the time I take to study the real estate market, study the stock market, study business market, I can have degrees in all of them. And that's just time I put in myself without somebody telling me, hey, you need to look at this. Hey, you need to look at this. Like Alex will tell you, I send them text messages 24 hours a day about different stuff that I've found out. Anytime, because I'm always in there trying to find the next thing, seeing the next know-how. Like before this year, all the real estate deals I've done, of course, I've gave disrespectful offers and they've been great deals, but I kept studying the market until this year. This is when I first started doing seller finance. I didn't want to close my mind and say, oh, the only way I could do it is traditional finance. You know, I'm always finding a new one. Now I'm moving into commercial spaces on the residential side, but it's always learning, 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 learning. It's not just something you pick up like you're playing PlayStation. Like, oh, I can play this game real quick. Oh, I'm good at it. That's it. That's not the truth. And anything that you do, especially if you want to, scale up past your 9 to 5 job, you have to put in the work. And to put in the work ain't mean, oh, I read one book and now I'm good. No, it's hours and hours and dedication upon that. And in the stock market, if you don't want to put in the time, go just invest in the market. Invest in the index fund, the ETF or something like that. And then call it a day. Then you can go on and live your life. Yeah, you still gonna, you're gonna make your 9 to 12%. And then life goes on. I'm not saying you can't do that and be successful, but if you want to go, especially in individual stock space, or especially if you want to go create a side hustle, it takes time. It takes effort. You got to give up the time that you usually have after your 9 to 5 job and you party and hang out with your friends. You got to sit your butt down and study. You got to figure out what's going on. You can't do what everybody else is doing because everybody else is broke. So if you're gonna do what everybody else is doing, you're gonna stay broke, and then that's the way it is. Just don't complain about the people that's sitting there putting in the extra time and effort. So that is another misconception that's out there, Alex, that I wanted to bring up.
It's absolutely necessary. And like when you are investing in the stock market, like you were saying, you have to be 100% committed. This means putting in all the hours, like you said, to research. This means sacrificing time with family, with friends, with whatever. Because if you're going to be committed, especially those that think that they can just like quit their day job and then just do stocks, like you have to learn something completely new and you have to put in more hours than you would at your job or at school. You have to dedicate yourself to that. And I mean, for the active income side, it seems like day trading is like the sexy part of, the stock market for most people. But like we both said, like it's not a common success rate. It's not a high success rate at all. So you have to be very skilled in trading. Um, I mean, I would even argue it's not a high success rate for investors either, because most people they can't stand the drops in the stock market. And that's another thing too, is preparing yourself for the drops in the stock market. Like I always get concerned when people ask me what stocks I'm investing in because even if it's a good company that like let's say it's Apple or Amazon, like we know those companies probably aren't going away for a very long time, if ever. But if the stock drops, let's say 30%, I'm excited for that. I want to grab more shares. But if I told someone else, hey, invest in Amazon, and then it drops 30%, even though it's Amazon, they're going to freak out because 30% of their money just dropped. And so you have to have the stomach for that. You have to be willing to understand and accept the fact that that's going to happen short term, temporarily, but in the long term, it's going to grow. But
Yeah.
mm,
And with all that being said, Alex, I think this is a great video to point out the nuances. People hopefully they'll get it. You know, the controlling emotion is paramount. And I'm glad you brought that up. This video is running a little long, but controlling emotion is the probably the number one aspect of it all. Most people can't control their emotion, especially when it comes to money. Like we always talk about money is emotion. If you can't control that, then you're never going to have money. But that's probably another video for another time. But for all the people that's watched this video, if we helped you out, please like, subscribe, hit the comment in the comment section, tell us how crazy we are, and we'll see you in the next video.
see you guys.